Good morning. We have an update. So I'm going to be really brief this morning because I'm running extremely behind. Did my cleanser. We're going to do our toner. Met with Pacer yesterday about the IEP, and it was just as I thought. There was a lot of things in there we did not discuss, and then a lot of things that we had discussed magically got left out. So it's always really, really good to go through and read your IEP before you sign it. They were trying to sneak in a placement change setting that we never discussed, which would basically remove Peyton from being in the general education population, which was not anything we ever agreed on. So I will be disputing that. They also do not have her medical diagnoses in there of her ADHD, and she also has PMDD. So those two were not in there. They did not have that she's been going through medication trialing and adjustments, and so there is expected to be like some behavior, like there could be some adverse reactions while we're going through and testing these, because like she could get angry quicker, she could be sleepy, she could have upset stomach. None of that was in there like we had discussed. What else? I mean, there was like 8 things. So today I will email them back and I will say, hey, these are some things that need adjustments. Do you want to discuss it and rewrite it? Or do you want me to refuse it and we go to reconciliation? In the past, they've always like made adjustments, but my adjustments have always been so minor. And these are some very, very, very big adjustments. So I just did my serum by Lancome. So it'll be interesting. I think we're going to end up going to conciliation. So that's going to be fun. So this is probably going to drag out over the summer and not be in place for fall. All because they did not do what we all talked about in the IEP meeting. So, and the other thing that's really shady is they tried to, now for people who are special ed mamas, okay. So they tried to combine a manifestation meeting, a reentry meeting, and an IEP annual meeting, and an IEP emergency meeting to discuss the IEP all into one meeting. And then they expected it to be 45 minutes. That's a lot to get through in 45 minutes. So when it was over 2 hours and we still weren't, little side quest there. So I'm just rubbing this in. My phone is getting close to being out of memory, so I have to deal with that this weekend. So we will be seeing what happens. So it was nice meeting with Pacer yesterday, but yeah, the school year is going to be interesting. So that's my update there. And then the update with my mom is she has her scans on Monday. So next week we'll know at some point whether her cancer is progressing, staying the same, or what is going on. And I seriously think there has to be something going on with her brain because, we're in Minnesota. And so we are under the air quality thing where they're telling us not to open our doors, not to open our windows, to stay inside because the air quality is horrible. Don't, all that stuff. I come home yesterday from work. She has, okay, so hopefully this phone will work now. I obviously need a new one. She doesn't understand that she can't have the windows open when the air quality is horrible. So trying to explain that to her, and also explain to her that like she shouldn't have the air off when it's 80 some degrees outside because she has animals, and the house was at 78 when I walked in and she thought it was cold. That's not typical. So something has to be going on. So I'll give you an update next week about that. But I'm going to go take care of my phone because obviously we have a storage issue. And start offloading my videos to a little flash drive. So I will give you an update.